Betrayal never arrives with a warning. It walks beside you, wearing a smile you once trusted. They sit at your table. They laugh with you. They promise loyalty with their lips, while sharpening quiet knives in their silence. A fake friend studies your weaknesses like scripture, waits for your guard to drop, then moves when the world believes you are safe. Their loyalty is only a costume, stitched together by need and envy. You feel it before you see it. The subtle chill, the glance too quick to hide its calculation. This is not paranoia. This is survival. Machiavelli knew the most dangerous enemy is the one who calls you friend. This is the dark truth. The rest of this video exposes 7 precise signals that reveal when friendship is a weapon, and you are the target and the tactics to unmask them. Machiavelli knew. Trust is the sweetest trap. They don't show you who they are. They show you who you are. This is the first mask of the false friend. Reflection. A quiet imitation designed to seduce your trust. At first, it feels intoxicating. Someone who understands your rhythm, your humor, your small obsessions. You laugh, and they laugh the same way. You speak, and they finish the sentence as if your minds were bound together. But this is not connection. This is camouflage. A fake friend studies you the way a predator studies its prey, not to admire, but to disarm. They understand one rule. Humans trust what looks familiar, so they make themselves familiar. They echo your language. They wear your mannerisms. They pretend to share your hunger, your pain, your ambition. But behind this mask, there is nothing. No core, no substance, only a hollow reflection of what you already are. The psychology is simple and brutal. By mirroring you, they blur your ability to see them clearly. Suspicion dissolves, because when you look at them, you only see yourself. You mistake imitation for intimacy, and by the time you realize the difference, they already stand inside your walls. Ask yourself this: what do you really know about them? Strip away the similarities, the repeated words, the copied passions. What remains? The silence behind the mirror reveals the truth. Without you, they are empty. They need your fire to cast their shadow, and when your fire fades, so will they. Machiavelli warned, the men deceive more by resemblance than by words. The resemblance is their disguise. It is not loyalty. It is a strategy. Here is how you unmask them. Tactic 1. Test the fracture of disagreement. A real friend will resist you when your words clash with their truth. A fake friend cannot risk it. Confront them with an opinion you don't believe, and watch their response. Do they still bend to you? Do they still nod, even when logic strains? Their need to reflect, you will betray them. Tactic 2. Remove the mirror's source. Withdraw your influence for a time. Change your rhythm. Shift your interests. Observe if they adapt instantly, abandoning their own supposed desires to match yours. The speed of their transformation will reveal the fraud. Genuine loyalty bends, but never erases identity. Tactic 3. Demand substance in silence. Ask them about their past, their private fears, their deepest values. A fake friend will deflect, blur, or redirect the focus back to you. They cannot risk exposure. Their power lies only in what they copy, never in what they reveal. The truth is this: mirrors can only reflect light, never create it. And when you are surrounded by mirrors, you mistake your own fire for theirs. That is the danger. You believe you walk with equals, when in reality, you walk alone. But there is one more layer. The most dangerous part. Reflection breeds dependency. The fake friend becomes addicted to your presence because without you, they vanish. And if they vanish, they lose their camouflage, their borrowed strength, their shield against insignificance. This makes them desperate. Desperation is what transforms imitation into betrayal. When their mask begins to crack, they will seek to replace you, not with their own identity, but with another reflection. They will abandon you the moment a stronger fire appears, a brighter source to copy, and then you will see the truth. They were never yours. They were never even themselves. You are the substance. They are the shadow. Shadows never exist without light, and so the mirror that hides nothing becomes the first warning. Trust not the one who always agrees, who always adapts, who always echoes. Trust the one who dares to resist, because resistance reveals reality, while imitation only hides the blade. Machiavelli advised, "It is better to face the honest enemy than the false ally." The enemy announces himself. The ally who mirrors you waits in silence. They never cheer when you rise. They only breathe when you fall. This is the second mask of the false friend. Envy. It does not shout. It hides behind thin smiles, delayed congratulations, and silences that ache more than any insult. When you succeed, when your life sharpens into clarity, watch them. Their words sound supportive, but their tone betrays restraint. The smile doesn't reach their eyes. Their praise is brief, awkward, a rehearsed performance designed to conceal their unease. You rise, and in that rise, you remind them of their own failures, and they cannot bear it. But when you stumble, when you falter, the transformation is instant. Suddenly, they are attentive, present, full of false comfort. They circle your weakness like vultures around a carcass, feeding on your collapse. This is not care. It is hunger. For in your failure, they regain their balance. In your weakness, they feel strong. Machiavelli warned, men are more inclined to love at a loss than to rejoice in another's gain. It is a brutal truth. Most people tolerate your pain more easily than your prosperity. The fake friend lives by this rule. The psychology is clear. Envy is corrosive fuel. It burns silently, eating away at loyalty until only resentment remains. The false ally needs you broken, because a broken companion does not cast a shadow. Your success threatens their fragile place beside you. Your downfall, however, restores their comfort. There is a cold rhythm to their behavior, quiet in your ascent, loud in your descent, absence in your joy, presence in your despair. The betrayal lies not in what they do, but in what they choose not to do. A loyal friend amplifies your victories. A fake friend diminishes them by silence, then magnifies your failures with a sympathetic grin. Here is how you strip them bare. Tactic 1. Announce your victories in silence. Withhold celebration. Tell no one. Then, watch carefully who grows restless when they suspect you are doing well. True loyalty is steady, but envy cannot hide its agitation. Their discomfort exposes them. Tactic 2. Measure their delay. When you share success, track how quickly they respond. A real ally celebrates instinctively. A false one hesitates, calculating how to disguise their discontent. That pause, that fraction of a second before the words form, is the wound opening. Tactic 3. Give them your weakness as bait. Speak of a small failure and study their reaction. Do they lean closer? Do their eyes brighten? As if your pain restores their equilibrium. A loyal friend comforts, but a false one thrives. Their appetite for your despair betrays them. The danger lies in subtlety. Fake friends rarely sabotage directly. They will not strike you openly. Instead, they allow silence to rot your victories. They let envy poison the air between you until one day you notice the pattern. They only draw near when you are broken. They only vanish when you stand tall. And so, you must remember, silence is not absence of sound. Silence is speech. It tells you who cannot endure your success. It tells you who secretly longs for your collapse. The cruel truth is this: applause can wound as deeply as betrayal, because it is not the loud enemy who drains you. It is the quiet ally whose silence devours your triumphs from within. Machiavelli advised, "The envious ally is more dangerous than the declared foe, for envy strikes in shadows." He understood that false friendship corrodes not with knives, but with muteness, with applause that never comes, with silence that cuts deeper than betrayal. Machiavelli warned, "He who is loved for usefulness is not loved at all." And this is the third mask of the false friend. The cruelest illusion of friendship is this: you mistake presence for loyalty. You mistake the crowd around your fire for genuine warmth. But a fake friend is not drawn to you. They are drawn to what burns within you: your fire, your energy, your status, your resources. They gather not to honor you, but to harvest the glow you provide. This is transactional loyalty. It masquerades as devotion, but it is nothing more than a silent contract. They come when your fire is bright, because the light flatters their shadow. They linger because your warmth shields them from their own cold. They smile because your strength feeds their fragile hunger. But when the fire dims, when your fortune cools, when your status shifts, when your energy weakens, they do not remain to tend the embers. They scatter, they abandon, and you are left to face the frost alone. I have seen it many times. The one who is always present at the banquet vanishes when the table is empty. The one who praised you at the height of your influence cannot be found when you fall into silence. They were never attached to you, only to the fire you carried. Their loyalty was rented, not owned. Their bond was borrowed, not real. This is the parasite's design. They feed, but they never build. They attach themselves to warmth, but give nothing to sustain it. And when you run cold, they do not see you as human. They see you as useless. That is the brutality of false companionship. Machiavelli understood this truth. He warned that alliances built on utility will vanish the moment utility disappears. Power without fire invites abandonment, and friendship rooted in convenience is not friendship at all. It is dependence disguised as care. The strategy, then, is simple but merciless. If you wish to test the truth of someone's loyalty, extinguish the flame. Stop giving. Stop shining. Stop offering warmth. Create absence where they once found abundance. The honest will stay even when the fire dies. The false will vanish before the ashes have cooled. Do not reveal this test openly. Do not announce your withdrawal. Simply withdraw. Pull back your energy, your resources, your opportunities. Observe who notices and who disappears. Fake friends starve quickly when the fire dies. Their silence will expose them. 3 cold tactics remain. First, withdraw the warmth. If someone's attachment weakens, the moment you stop feeding them, you have your answer. Do not argue. Do not plead. Let the cold do the work for you. Second, measure endurance, not intensity. A true ally may not always burn bright, but they remain in the shadows, even when there is no light to follow. A fake friend is intense when the glow is strongest, but intensity is nothing without endurance. Third, reclaim the fire. Once you have seen who leaves in your coldest hour, do not invite them back when you burn again. They will come running, eager to borrow warmth once more, but you already know the truth. Their loyalty does not belong to you. It belongs to your fire. Never forget this principle. The one who only seeks you in brightness will betray you in darkness. Their presence is not proof of friendship. It is proof of hunger, and hunger will always find a new flame to feed on. The fire they borrow is never yours to keep, and the cold they leave behind is the gift that reveals who they truly are. According to Machiavelli, fortune tests men not in their abundance, but in their scarcity. Only there is loyalty revealed. Machiavelli advised, whoever holds the knowledge of another's weakness holds his fate in his hands. Fourth secret is the asymmetry of secrets. There is a silence more dangerous than words. It is the silence of the one who listens intently, but never reveals. They urge you to open, to confess, to expose the hidden fractures of your life. They nod, they sympathize, they make you believe disclosure is intimacy, but their silence is not innocence. It is calculation. A fake friend thrives in asymmetry. They create a one-way mirror of trust. You bleed, they observe. You speak, they archive. Every secret you reveal becomes stored currency. Every confession, a weapon locked away for the moment they choose to use it. You think you are building closeness. In truth, you are building a cage and handing them the key. Notice the imbalance. Hours of your honesty, but only fragments of theirs. You know their surface, their anecdotes, their polished stories, but their true fears, their failures, their humiliations, you never hear them. Why? Because secrecy is power, because distance is defense, and because the one who holds more information always stands higher in the exchange. Machiavelli understood this brutal arithmetic. Knowledge of a man's flaws is more potent than any blade. The one who appears gentle while harvesting your secrets is not a companion. They are a strategist. Their silence is armor, and your openness is surrender. You must see the trap before you are caught in it. Fake friends position themselves as confidants, but their loyalty ends at their lips. They use comfort as bait and vulnerability as leverage. And once imbalance is set, you can never stand equal again. 3 cold tactics remain. First, test reciprocity. When you reveal something personal, observe whether they meet you in equal depth. If their response is shallow, vague, or evasive, you are not speaking to a friend. You are speaking to a collector. Second, guard the irreversible. Never give ammunition that could be twisted against you. Weakness, shame, hidden desires. Keep them under your own lock. The less they hold, the less control they possess. Third, invert the game. Withhold deliberately. Share fragments, not foundations. Let them believe they know you, while in truth, they grasp only shadows. The most dangerous silence is not theirs. It is yours. Ask yourself this question. After years of conversation, do you truly know them? Or do you only know what they have chosen to to show. That vacuum is not emptiness. It is a blade being sharpened in silence. Machiavelli warned that men reveal their loyalty not in what they share, but in what they conceal. To trust the wrong silence is to hand your power away. Machiavelli warned, loyalty that does not endure risk is not loyalty. It is theater. This is the fifth sign of loyalty's greatest test. What they do when you are not in the room. The truest test of any bond happens in your absence. When you leave the room, so does your defense. In that moment, your name becomes clay in other people's hands, soft enough to be shaped into rumor, accusation, or ridicule. And it is here that a fake friend reveals their true allegiance, not by what they say, but by what they refuse to say. Their silence is not neutrality. It is surrender. When the room tilts against you, when whispers coil like smoke, a true ally stands firm, even at a cost. But the counterfeit retreats. They calculate, weighing their reputation against yours, and the scale tips quickly. It is easier to vanish into stillness, easier to avoid risk, and so they allow your image to be wounded while theirs remains intact. This betrayal is surgical, almost invisible. You rarely discover it immediately. It creeps back to you in fragments. They didn't defend you. They stayed quiet, or worse, they laughed along. It is absence masquerading as prudence, but the effect is fatal, because in silence, complicity is born. Machiavelli understood this principle clearly. Loyalty is cheap in times of peace, but priceless in times of fire. Many will drink with you at the table. Few will burn with you in the storm. The counterfeit friend will always retreat when stakes rise, because their presence was never loyalty. It was convenience. 3 tactics guard you here. First, study the echo. Pay attention not only to what returns to you, but how it returns. When multiple voices carry the same report of someone's silence, it is rarely coincidence. Second, plant the test. Step away deliberately. Create a controlled absence, a moment where your name is placed at risk. The one who fails to shield it has already failed you. Third, recalculate trust. Once silence has betrayed you, treat it as a fracture that cannot be mended. A friend who abandons your name once will do it again, because betrayal becomes habit the moment it proves useful. Their silence may not pierce you in the moment, but it corrodes in the shadows. By the time you feel its weight, the damage is already done. Machiavelli advised, in betrayal, words are not the sharpest weapons. Silence is. Machiavelli warned, those nearest to you hold the sharpest knives. The final mask of the counterfeit friend is not silence. It is not absence. It is charm. They smile. They laugh at your jokes. They flatter you with effortless ease. They seem present, attentive, invested, and yet, beneath the warmth, their eyes are not with you. They are upon you, studying, measuring, recording. Every slip in your confidence becomes a note in their hidden ledger. Every confession of doubt becomes a weapon forged for later use. They are not listening to comfort you. They are listening to catalog you. What you mistake for companionship is surveillance disguised as affection. The psychology is simple, yet deadly. Charm lowers defenses. A smile disarms suspicion. When someone laughs with you, you instinctively grant them access. And with access, they gather intelligence. But intelligence is never neutral. It is either buried or weaponized. And a fake friend never buries what can serve their advantage. Watch them closely. When you succeed, do they recall your victories, or do they remind you of your past failures? Framed as gentle humor, that smile you trust is not kindness. It is rehearsal, testing how easily you still bleed when they touch an old scar. This is why proximity is dangerous. A stranger can harm you, but only from a distance. A false friend can dismantle you with precision because you have already given them the blueprint. Every weakness you revealed in confidence becomes a calculated opening for their eventual betrayal. Machiavelli said, "Men forget the death of a father sooner than the loss of inheritance." He understood the truth. Betrayal is never about affection. It is about utility. Your weaknesses are currency, and the false friend hoards them until the market shifts in their favor. 3 tactics shield you from this trap. First, control your disclosures. Never reveal a wound you cannot afford to see reopened. Keep certain truths sealed, even from those who seem most intimate. The less they know, the less they can store against you. Second, monitor their memory. A real ally lets your flaws dissolve in time. A counterfeit keeps them alive, circling back, mentioning them lightly, dressed as humor or care. That pattern is a tell. A true friend forgets what no longer matters. A false one preserves what can still injure. Third, weaponize silence. Learn to smile as they do, but withhold the substance they crave. Speak, but reveal little. Share, but only on the surface. Let them think they are collecting gold while you hand them dust. In doing so, you flip the imbalance. They show their hunger while you remain unreadable. Understand this. The counterfeit friend thrives because you participate in your own disarmament. You place the knife in their hand, and you even point it toward your own heart. But once you see the pattern, you stop supplying the blade. The smile they wear will not vanish. They will continue to laugh, to flatter, to nod. But now you will know what hides beneath, and knowledge is leverage. Machiavelli advised that proximity is both power and danger. To survive it, you must not only study enemies at a distance, but also study friends at arm's length. Because betrayal does not strike from the shadows. It smiles first, and the truest smile of a fake friend is not joy. It is record-keeping. The most dangerous betrayal is not the blade in your back. It is the hand on your shoulder, steadying you while secretly pushing you closer to the fall. Fake friends are not companions. They are opportunists in disguise. Machiavelli's way is brutal but true. Trust rarely, test often, and never mistake closeness for loyalty. Ask yourself, when the fire dies, when the silence falls, who remains? The answer will wound you, but it will also set you free.